In this 3-part series, we're going to show you how to hoop net for lobsters.
That's coming up.
Hey Romy, Castro, welcome back to the channel. We're here with Captain Scotty from Brothers Sport Fishing.
What's up, guys?
We teamed up once again to show you guys how to hoop net for lobsters. In part 1 of this series, Scotty's going to show us our options for hoop netting. Part 2, we're actually going to rig one of these up and then show you guys all the gear you need to get when you go to the store and buy the hoop net. And the next part after that, I'm gonna take this out in my kayak and see if we can catch some lobsters in these. So let's get started. I'm gonna step back behind the camera and let Captain Scotty take over and show you guys our options.
Let's get some bugs. Okay, so then right here we have 2 options that you can get here in San Diego or in Southern California in general. We got these locally at Squidco. Both of these are real. This is exactly how you get them from Squidco. This one here is their Volcano 36. You can see that. So basically what the 36 means that this bottom ring here is a diameter of 36 inches. And this one here, we have the Promar Ambush XL, also 36. So very comparable. They come with about 100 feet of line, 2 buoys, and bait nets there. So now real quickly, we'll just talk about the 2 differences. We've used both of them before. They are great options. But we definitely recommend this rigid style where they have the bottom ring and then this top ring, it's rigid together, as opposed to a flat one. Flat one, you know, it'll have 2 rings, the large ring and just this middle ring here in the middle, and when you pick it up, that bottom ring will fall farther down. However, the issue with that one there is, depending on how deep you are, you have to pull up and continually have pressure. If not, if it comes down just a little bit, the lobsters can swim out. Now with this one here, if for whatever reason something gets tangled, or you know, you get a little bit tired on the way up, at least it has this rigid frame and netting here to at least stop some of the lobsters from coming out. Now same thing though, you do always want to keep pressure coming up, because lobsters still can come out this way if the trap falls downward in the water column. But this will help you just be that much more successful. So we're going to start off with the Volcano 36. Now there are some differences between these 2, just depending on how much you want to invest into your gear. You know, you can expect that you're probably going to lose some gear every once in a while. If you put it into some structure, put it into some rocks, you might not be able to get your net back out. Or if, you know, for whatever reason, say for example, if you're out there on a boat, you have a propeller, you have a motor, if your line gets into it, you have to cut the line, you're going to lose that trap. So it just depends on how much you want to invest into your gear. This Volcano 36 here is just a little bit lower price point than the Promar Ambush, but in our experience, we've used them both. They work very well. So some differences. This one here in the netting here, they've got these tied off here. They've got this rope here for the rigging is a little bit smaller gauge. You'll see on the next one. And then for these holes here, they're a little bit larger. Now moving on to the Promar Ambush. Now to find out whether or not it's a legit Promar Ambush, you always want to look for this tag here. This tag right here, it's legit Promar. Now you can see for this rigging, they've got these tied off. So then this one here is just one continuous strand going around. They tie it off and then run it through, tie it off. Now if one of these breaks here, in our experience, it should tie off at that knot there. So it should stop right there, and then you can easily go back and re-rig it back up. Whereas back over here on the Ambush, it appears that each one of these is just a strand over and tied off on each ends. So whichever way you would prefer to see yours, because then do expect some of these to rip at some point. You know, when you catch lobster will get stuck in here. Sometimes if they're small lobster, the tails will actually go through, or their claws and hands will come through, and you have to kind of get them out of there. Sometimes, sooner or later, depending on how many times you use these will rip, and you will have to go back in there and fix them. Especially if you have a big gaping hole through here, you're just gonna lose your lobster. Coming back over to the Promar. So then now you can see here on these ties here, they've got a double knot here, and then these are a little bit smaller, and then this rigging here is a little bit bigger diameter, so potentially these will last longer. And then lastly here, with these ropings, this lashing here is much bigger diameter. Also, if you feel it, it kind of compresses. It's more hollow inside. My estimation is that that will float a little bit better, keeping all your rigging up out of it when it's in the water, so allowing lobsters to come in freely. You know, they get around here, they're trying to eat, they're trying to get in here. This floats up better. It's just going to keep more out of the way, more lobsters getting in. Last difference here, on the Volcano here, for this bottom ring, there's actually only one layer of netting on this bottom ring here, so that means you need to have a bait cage. So this one here comes with the bait cage, of course, but if you can see, there's only one netting there. You'd see, kind of pretty much see right through it there. Whereas on your Promar, your ambush, it's got two netting there. So say for example you go out, you forget your bait cage for whatever reason, it has a double netting there that you all can see, that you can actually slide your bait in between the netting and then just lash it through. And so then these are the kits that you can find at Squidco down here locally in San Diego. They both pretty much came the same, but this one here is going to be $79.99, about $80. This one here is going to be $64.99, about $65. And there you have it, Volcano 36 and the Promar Ambush XL, which is also 36.
To this kit, there's a lot of things you have to do before you can actually fish it, and that's what we're going to get into the next video. We're going to show you guys a list of all the things you need to modify these and take it from off the shelf to actually fishing off your kayak or boat. The parts list I just mentioned, and for the video on how to actually set these up, click on this video next. We'll see you guys over there. Woo!